Hi guys, welcome to True Channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. Top 10 most haunted forests in the world. So make sure to watch the full video. Forests are home to the outsider and the consecrated, where our apprehensions sneak and where our most loved stories send their legends, from Gilgamesh to Snow White. Because of fantasies and legends of the Blair Witch assortment, a thick, dull backwoods can inspire sensations of fear. That's what we'd contend, even apparently. Spooky timberlands are probably the eeriest puts on the planet. And keeping in mind that most creepy minutes can be credited to our open-air fire minds roaming free. A few spots all over the planet convey truly frightening narratives that are a lot harder to dismiss with an anxious snicker. From woods said to have shrill shouts reverberating through the trees. 10 Elfin Backwoods, California. The people group of Elfin Backwoods seems like it has a place in the realm of Tolkien, despite the fact that it lies only southwest of Escondido in the San Diego district. How fitting, then, that it is creeping with fanciful stories, fantasies, and accounts of tormented spirits and trolls. Rumors have spread far and wide suggesting that Romany individuals used to possess elfin woodland in the mid-1900 years until adjacent townsfolk drove them out and butchered those that stayed behind. Probably, they got payback by reviling the backwoods and their encompassing terrains. Today, individuals have professed to see a wide range of spooky specters, similar to a drifting lady wearing white, a shrouded soul riding a dark steed, and baffling impressions. 9 Highgate Graveyard, London, UK. This rich and verdant North London garden, fictionalized in Bram Stoker's Dracula as Kingsdead Churchyard, has a wonderfully unusual roll call of outstanding graves, including those of Karl Marx and Douglas Adams. And keeping in mind that it stays quite possibly of London's least visited milestone, the people who truly do enter its entryways come looking for spooky experiences as much as superstar gravestones. The site was laid out during the 1800s and became ignored and unattended toward the finish of World War II, the congested vegetation and disintegrating landmarks just increasing the trepidation factor. Then during the 1970s, subsequent to showing up as a recording area in a few blood and gore flicks, Highgate arrived at a flood in prominence, in particular among self-declared vampire trackers. Numerous guests professed to see an animal floating over the graves, a vampire, probably, and accounts of grave looting started showing up in the news. The purported vampire trackers would open burial chambers to drive wooden stakes into the bodies' chests, or take the carcasses and move them to irregular spots, counting the vehicle of one of the graveyard's neighbors. Right up to the present day, Highgate stays a go-to recognized for lovers of everything fanged and mysterious. 8 Hoia Baciu Timberland, Romania. From the second a tactical professional caught a photo of a UFO drifting over this timberland in 1968, Hoia Baciu has acquired a paranormal reputation all over the planet. The region has become known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, as some trust it to be an entryway that vanishes guests. Others who have gone through the backwoods, without being destroyed into another domain, that is, accounted for rashes, queasiness, and sensations of tension. The bent trees in certain pieces of the area further loan to the disconcerting atmosphere of Hoia Baciu. 7 The Island of the Dolls, Xochimilco, Mexico. In spite of its status as a World Legacy webpage, alongside Mexico City, it's a very much protected illustration of Aztec life. Xochimilco has arrived at a specific measure of web notoriety for its Isla de las Muñecas, or the Island of the Dolls. Tucked away among the area's many trenches, the site is renowned for the many dolls, and doll parts, swinging from trees and dispersed among the grass. The Chinampa, similar to a fake island, used to be the home of a now expired man named Julian St. Nick Barrera. In the wake of finding a dead young lady's body in a close-by waterway, Barrera gathered and showed the toys with expectations of warding off fiendish spirits, reports Public Geographic. Today, the island is accepted to be spooky by the phantom of the suffocated young lady. And neighborhood legend even expresses that the dolls have been heard murmuring to one another, moving their heads and arms, and waking up. 6 Pine Barrens, New Jersey. The vigorously forested Pine Barrens traverses north of 1 million sections of land and 7 provinces in New Jersey. The region flourished during the pioneer period, host to sawmills, paper plants, and different businesses. Individuals in the end deserted the factories and encompassing towns when coal was found toward the west in Pennsylvania, abandoning phantom towns, and, some say, a couple of powerful vagabonds. The most well-known Pine Barrens inhabitant is in actuality the Jersey Demon. As per legend, the animal was brought into the world in 1735 to Deborah Leeds, her 13th kid, with rugged wings, a goat's head, and hooves. It flew up the Leeds smokestack and into the Barrens, and it has been killing domesticated animals and crawling out South Jersey inhabitants from that point forward. 5 Wychwood Timberland, Oxfordshire, Britain. One more English drag fest. Wychwood backwoods demeanour of secret stems from the account of Amy Robsart, the spouse of the Baron of Leicester. Robsart strangely broke her neck and kicked the bucket in 1560, years after the fact. Her better half experienced her phantom in Wychwood while on a hunting trip. Her soul let the Lord know that he would join her in eternity in only a couple of days. As guaranteed, he became sick not long after the experience and rapidly kicked the bucket. Neighborhood legend says that anybody who experiences the phantom of Amy in Wychwood Woods will happen to a similar destiny as the long-lost Duke of Leicester. 4 Yosemite Public Park, California. Yosemite Public Park is dearest for its incredible cascades and monster sequoia forests. However, there are regions of the recreation area that could give you an alternate sort of goosebumps. For instance, a few guests who have climbed the Chilnualna Falls trailhead detailed hearing the particular sound of somebody crying. Local American legends credit the cries to a neighboring Kid Grouse Lake. His soul calls out for help, yet any explorers who adventure into the lake will get pulled under and suffocate. Another local American legend asserts that a portion of the Cascades in the recreation area is spooky by a malicious breeze that attracts individuals to the edge of the falls, and afterward passes them over the bluff. 3 Aokigahara Woods, Japan. This apparently peaceful woodland at the foot of Mount Fuji has a tortured past. Casually known as self-destruction timberland, Aokigahara has had the world's second most noteworthy pace of suicides after the Brilliant Door extension. In 2010 alone, 247 individuals endeavored to end their own lives here, and 54 of them were fruitful. Some fault this pattern on the backwoods' relationship with evil presences in Japanese folklore. Others point towards the thickness of the trees, which stifles sound and makes it simple to get lost. As a matter of fact, numerous climbers will check their way with tape or string to make it more straightforward to find their direction back out once more. The sprinkling of dress and letters left all through the twisted woods gives Aokigahara that additional touch that will leave you in nervous perspiration. On the off chance that you are having contemplations of self-destruction, call the Public Self-Destruction Counteraction Help at 1-800-273-8255. TALK, or go to Speaking of Suicide. Comasets for a rundown of extra assets. 2 Cameron Park, Texas. Waco's Cameron Park has a few spots that are accounted for to be paranormal hot zones, including Jacob's Stepping Stool, a misleading arrangement of steps tormented by a getting phantom who pulls on climbers' garments to pull them down. Be that as it may, maybe the most notable site is the Witch's Palace, a name given to disintegrating ruins tracked down somewhere down in the recreation area. As per one story encompassing the palace, and there are many, the vestiges are the previous place of a lady associated with black magic in the last part of the 1800s. Waco occupants accused the lady after individuals started vanishing in the encompassing woods, so they shaped a crowd and torched her home while she was still inside. Certain individuals guarantee to see the witch's figure meandering through Cameron Park today, in any event, pursuing down a few unfortunate guests. 1 Daring Woods, Smarton, Britain. The Daring Woods are normally alluded to as the Shouting Woods or, an ideal spot to have your next family setting up a camp excursion. Guests report hearing blood coagulating shouts coming from the woods profundities around evening time as well as strides and murmurs on hazy days. The shouts are frequently credited to a caught and killed bandit by residents in the 1800 years, and whose phantom evidently still holds a remarkable resentment. Others accept the hauntings are the consequence of a 1948 slaughter, where 20 individuals were evidently tracked down dead in the woods the morning of November 1st. Occupants detailed seeing unusual lights radiating from the forest that Halloween night, and postmortems of the bodies couldn't decide a reason for death. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.